What is going on, everybody? Back at it again with another YouTube video. And we are almost 24 hours away from game time, from kickoff. Eagles versus Giants, Thursday night football. The Eagles will be blacked out tomorrow. So I had to throw on some black Eagles gear. I'm ready for tomorrow's game. I personally believe that this is the beginning of the NFC East Division Series. Or season, really, because they all stink. Let's be honest here. Cowboys are leading the division 2-4. The Eagles are 1-4-1. And, there's just a lot of things wrong with this team. The Giants are 1-5. And I think the football team is also 1-5. With that being said, though, this division is also up for grabs from pretty much all four teams, if you really think about it. Now, do I think that the Giants and Washington have a chance? No, I don't. I truly think that they're just tanking, and I think they're going to go along with how the season plays out. I think we go in tomorrow and get a win. We're at home. We have fans, and then it's a big week next week, Dallas week. I mean, there's going to be a lot of emotions running through that game, as there usually always is, especially now with Dak Prescott being out for the rest of the season. And there's just a lot of things going on with the NFC East in pretty much all the worst ways you could possibly really say. I mean, there's just so many injuries to so many players. It's actually just mind-blowing how many injuries there are to so many good players. I mean, you got Ertz, Sanders. Basically, the entire Dallas and Eagles offensive line is banged up or has been banged up at some point in the season. You also have Blake Jarwin out for the Cowboys. Dak, obviously. You got, it started with Gerald McCoy in the offseason. Same thing with us for Brandon Brooks. There's so many injuries. But the Eagles do get some back tomorrow. Those players being Deshaun Jackson, Duke Riley, Lane Johnson, Avante Maddox, Marcus Epps. They will play tomorrow. Great news for the Eagles. They need to win this game. There is no excuse to lose to the New York Giants. No excuse at all. You cannot lose to that team. I personally believe if you do lose to the Giants, you should just lose the rest of the games. You should be sellers at the trade deadline rather than buyers. You should blow up this team because you guys stink. If that's the case, we have 3 easy-ish games in a row. And the only reason why I say that is because we have 3 games against the division in a row, 2 of them being the Giants, and we have a bye week in between the Cowboys and second Giants game. But you need to win these 3. You need to win these 3. You need to beat the Giants. You need to beat the Cowboys. Go into the bye, get healthy, get Ertz back, get Sanders fully back, and then beat the Giants again. Because you need to win these games in order to win the division. This division is god-awful. You can win literally probably 6-9-1. But I don't want that. I'd like to actually win, have a positive record, have an over 500 record. Do I think we're going to go 10-5-1? No. I'm saying we could go 8-7-1. I'm saying we could go 9-6-1. Those are some, those are realistic in my opinion. You got a couple hard games down the stretch. You got the Saints, Seattle, and Green Bay back-to-back-to-back weeks. Not in that order. It's actually Seattle, Green Bay, and New Orleans. New Orleans, I do personally believe that we could beat them. Drew Brees is not Drew Brees. They have, some injuries, and they just don't look that good. I definitely think that the Saints are a very beatable team. Seattle owns us. I don't think we beat them, especially now that they are looking into signing Antonio Brown after Week 8. If they get AB, they truly might just win the Super Bowl. Honestly, I'm being honest. They could just win the Super Bowl. They have everything. They have 3 great receivers. They have a good running back, an MVP quarterback, a solid defense. They could win the Super Bowl. Now, with that being said, what are the Eagles looking at? Where are they going to go with this free agency / trade deadline moves? Are we going to be buyers or are we going to be sellers? I think there's going to definitely be a new linebacker and a new wide receiver with the deadline coming up. I think John Ross could be one of those guys. You were expected Marquise Goodwin. He opted out. You get a speed guy. You get a guy that is pretty underrated, decent, been on bad teams, been with bad quarterbacks, but he is fast. You know what you're getting from the speed aspect of things. Definitely think they could take a look at Cincinnati's John Ross or an AJ Green. The Falcons, I know for a fact, are going to be sellers at the deadline. You got guys like Deion Jones, Julio Jones, Matt Ryan, names like that have been thrown out there saying, should the Falcons trade them? Should they not? Definitely think Deion Jones will be gone. I also believe that Matt Ryan could be gone depending on how these next couple of weeks go before the deadline. But do I think it's possible to get a Julio Jones or an Odell or, an AJ Green type of player? It's possible, but I don't think the Eagles are going to do it. We have seen Howie Roseman pretty much regard the wide receiver position and the middle line and the linebacker position since Carson has been in the league. But we also do get healthy in that time. You get Alshon back. You get Deshaun back. If you get John Ross, there you go. You have Travis Fulgham. Travis Fulgham's a solid player. He will go up and get a catch. Is he legit? I don't know. He hasn't played long enough, and he's been decent. He's scored in every game. I'll give him that. But I definitely need to see a little bit more. With Deshaun Jackson being back tomorrow, where does that put one of our 6 receivers? And I'm talking, because now it's Deshaun, Greg Ward, Fulgham, Hightower, Watkins, and J.J. Arcega-Whiteside are the 6 guys. They're most likely going to keep 5. I think you have to keep 5. So which one of those guys goes back to the practice squad? I personally believe it's going to be Quez Watkins. I think he goes down. He hasn't played at all this season. So I think they just put him back down. I think Hightower can be good. He had that brutal drop last game that could have been a touchdown, but he didn't. Arcega-Whiteside is a solid blocker. I will give him that. He can, I guess, catch. He just doesn't really get open because his route running is so bad. But he can catch. But if I'm the Eagles, Fulgham should still be your number 1 tomorrow. Now, I know Deshaun Jackson is the better player, but I think Travis Fulgham, with game time under his belt the last 3 weeks, I think he should be your number 1, or at least the guy you target the most, especially in the red zone. As we all know, Deshaun Jackson isn't really a red zone threat. He's a deep guy threat, which Fulgham, Ward can be, but they are also red zone threats. So you need to play. If Travis Fulgham is not playing tomorrow, there is a serious issue and somebody needs to get fired. Because Travis Fulgham has been the only guy even scoring points at this point in the season. So you need to play him. I don't care. He needs to play. Jamon Brown was also cut, and he was awful. He might have been one of the worst offensive linemen I think I've ever seen. He was getting thrown around like a rag doll. He was fixing his gloves in one of the plays, and he also sacked Carson Wentz. He tackled Carson Wentz. He was awful. But the Eagles are back tomorrow night. We get sort of healthy. We get healthier. Does Alex Singleton play? I think he should. I think Nate Gary should be coming off the bench because he's awful. If you have Duke Riley back, you have Marcus Epps, you have, Will Parks is back. Obviously, he played last week. But if you're getting healthier, I think it's now time to take some of those really bad players and move them. Nathan Gary should not play middle linebacker. He should not play linebacker at all. He's always in the wrong position. He has cost us multiple touchdowns at this point in the season. He cost one to Lamar, to Chase Claypool. He is awful. Kittle, he's terrible. He needs to go. I would love for the Eagles to be buyers at the deadline. I do think that they're going to win the division, and I definitely think they win tomorrow night's game at the LINC, 8:20 against the New York Football Giants. With that being said, thank you all so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you are new. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Thank you all again for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I am out. Peace.